Hola clase, buenos días, tardes y noches. Good morning, afternoon, and evening. I hope you're all having a lovely day. Today we're going to work with section 3.2, which is a little bit more with telling time and showing possession. That is to say, the equivalent to the apostrophe S in English, and a little bit of vocabulary as well. Don't forget to stay tuned to the very, very end. There is an extra credit assignment should you choose to accept it. Let's go ahead and begin right now. Español 1, vocabulario y gramática, vocabulary and grammar. Capítulo 3.2, or chapter 3.2. Telling at what time something happens. This will be some of the active vocabulary that we end up putting together. You'll see some examples in just a few minutes here. Ahora significa now or right now. A qué hora asks the question, at what time? Now you'll notice there's three little dots afterwards, which means that this is a sentence or sentence fragment. That means that something is going to happen after that. So you would ask a question like, a qué hora empieza la clase? At what time begins the class? Or, a qué hora tienes práctica? At what time do you have practice? And so on. De means of. Del means of the, or from the. It's actually a contraction. De meaning of or from, and then the word el, which is one of the words, it's the masculine singular form of the word the. So we have of the or from the. Let's go ahead and continue. Let's see. De la mañana is in the morning. De la tarde, in the afternoon. De la noche, in the evening. So these have to do with if you give an exact time. So you would say, for example, a las 6 de la mañana, at 6 o'clock in the morning. A las 3 de la tarde, at 3 o'clock in the afternoon. Or a las 7:30 de la noche, at 7:30 at night. En punto significa on the dot or immediately. So if you were to say, for example, a qué hora es la práctica, at what time is practice, you'd say, son las 2 en punto. It's 2 o'clock on the dot. And that is what the punto refers to. Talking about being late or in a hurry. Date prisa significa hurry up. Está atrasado or está atrasada means he's running late or she's running late. So it would be él está atrasado if he's running late, or ella está atrasada if she's running late. Estoy atrasado meaning I'm running late. And tengo prisa simply means I am in a hurry. Now the literal translation is I have. You probably recognize tengo as meaning I have. Prisa, the literal word for this is haste. So you're actually saying I have haste. Obviously an awkward sentence in English, so we clean that up a little bit to mean I'm in a hurry. A little bit more common. Okay, just a little bit with our grammar for this week. As you can see, there's not a whole lot here, only a couple of slides for us to look at. So first one is telling at what time something happens. So if you want to find out what time something happens, simply ask, ¿a qué hora es la clase? So at what time is the class? The literal translation is at what hour is the class, but hour and time are synonymous ideas in Spanish. So la próxima, ¿a qué hora es el almuerzo? At what time is lunch? So at what time is the lunch is the literal translation. Ways to respond, you obviously want to have some sort of verb in your answer, like it is or they are. So in this case, I used es for both of these, meaning it is. Es a las 3 de la tarde. It is at 3 in the afternoon. Another example. Es a las 11:30 de la mañana. It is at 11:30 in the morning. So each of these could answer those, right? So, ¿a qué hora es la clase? What time is class? Es a las 3 de la tarde, referring to the class. ¿A qué hora es el almuerzo? At what time is lunch? Es a las 11:30 de la mañana. It's at 11:30 in the morning. So those two obviously work together. La próxima, showing ownership. So in Spanish, to show that something belongs to someone else, we use the word de. We don't use an apostrophe S. It's equivalent to using the apostrophe S in English. So for example, if I want to say David's shoes, I wouldn't say David's zapatos. I would say los zapatos de David, the shoes of David. Obviously, a very awkward phrase in English. So again, we clean that up a little bit when we translate back to our language. Another example, las clases de Eva, the classes of Eva. Well, generally translated would simply mean Eva's classes. Pretty straightforward. We'll be practicing that a lot more during class as well. And one last item, de combines with el to form the contraction del. I think we mentioned that a little bit earlier in our vocabulary. So whenever you see the word de and el together in a sentence, take those two words, put them together, del. Example, if you wanted to say the professor or the teacher's dog, normally it would read without the contraction, el perro de el profesor, but we put the de and el together, so el perro del profesor, the teacher's dog. Another example, la directora del colegio, the school's principal. Well, in this case, it would be just a contraction that was formed from la directora de el colegio. Those two can't exist together in the same sentence without becoming the contraction. So therefore, del is what we end up with. Pretty straightforward. I hope you understood everything. If you have questions, of course, email me at mtmore@stcs.org. Again, that's mtmore@stcs.org. If you have questions about any of this material, obviously, we'll have lots of time in class to discuss it too. So if you can save your questions for class, that's helpful too. Everything moves the discussion along well, and that is positive. This is the time in our screencast where I offer you a little bit of extra credit if you are so interested. So this week we're going to keep it very, very simple, and it will have to do with our vocabulary. As you can see, there are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13 total words / phrases. What you can do for 5 points of extra credit is make flashcards of these words. Bring them to class on Monday, the Monday that we begin this. Show it to me before we begin. And if you do so, you will receive 5 points of extra credit. That's only for those who are watching this. You can't find out on Monday and then decide to do it on Tuesday. This is a specific treat only for those who are watching the videos. So hopefully you are doing so. Hopefully you're getting something out of this. And again, don't hesitate to let me know if you have any questions, comments, or concerns. Hopefully all is going well. Ciao, hasta luego, y que te vaya bien.